Okay guys, we are now getting on to the buffing stage. Honestly, for me, buffing takes frickin' forever. This video originally was about an hour, 2 hours long. As I mentioned before, when we do the buffing, we're using a 240 grit. The reason I use 240 is because it's the smoothest out of all the nail grits that you can get, and it doesn't take as much off as if you're using, like, say, the 181. And I am a bit of a perfectionist, so I am buffing the entire tip, the back, the sides, the top, and I'm checking if it's smooth. If it's a bit like the lines feel too straight and not rounded, I will buff over that to try and make that smooth as well. The longest, which I hate doing the most, is buffing the chunky glitters. Now, if we didn't put clear on top, we are just going to be buffing straight glitter, so the clear helps with that layer. As you can see, it's taken me a wee while to do this one, and this is just one. We still have like 7 more tips to do. Sorry in parts that I'm not actually showing me doing the tip. It's the way that the camera's angled, and I don't realise that I'm not showing it in the camera. But yeah, this one takes ages because you're trying to get the layers so they're even, you're trying to smooth it, there's the glitter going everywhere. So yeah, these ones are not a good time, and they definitely take ages, but the payoff is they, you know, a chunky glitter, and chunky glitters are gorgeous. So here I hit a spot where the dip still felt soft, so I stopped, put more seal onto it, and then went on to the next one whilst that dries. So the next one is just the basic colour of Mood, so it's not as, you know, chunky, so easier to work with. So yeah, if you find when you're buffing and it feels like it's soft or we're taking off too much layer, then basically the seal hasn't got through to all the layers, and we need to reseal that, wait for that to dry, and then try again with buffing that tip. Alright, we are back to buffing this tip again, just to try again. The thing with doing like manis and tips, for me it's a lot of trial and error. Does this work or does this work? Okay, this doesn't work, so we won't try that next time, but we'll try something else. So yeah, if things don't work out the first time, that's okay, you can just try again and again later on. And if we look here, you can see the comparison between a buffed one and also one that hasn't been buffed as of yet. The top one was the one that had the heavy base glitter, and the bottom one was the one that had the thin base glitter, so you can see like the difference between the two. And me here, because I did the comparison between those two, I forgot about the pinky finger for the left hand, so I actually go back to it to do it. But yeah, if you see the top line, you can see the difference between the bottom line and when the buffing is done. Yeah, for me, I check to see how smooth it is. Am I happy with that smoothness? If not, buff it a bit more. And I mean, if you do too much buffing, that's okay, you could just re-dip and do the colour again. until you're happy with it. But yeah, don't take it too much to heart. If it's too much, then you can just, put base on, re-dip it again, and then just do it again. As you can see with this video, I am very thorough in terms of the buffing, because I want everything to be smooth as much as possible, because the thing is, once you put on the last bit of liquid, so glow, if there's imperfections you will see and you will feel it. And if you're anything like me and a bit OCD, you don't like to feel those on your mani. Alright, now we are getting on to doing that second middle one, but you can tell the difference between this one and the other one, because this one had the thin base on it and the other one had the thick base, so there's definitely a noticeable difference between the two. We just did seal again just because the dip didn't penetrate all the layers, so we're using seal so that hardens the dip for when buffing. The thing is, when you're buffing and it's soft, it will start to kind of peel. So if that's happening, just seal it again, wait for that to dry, and then rebuff that nail or tip again. Alright, we're back to doing that one. Because now it's dried, so we want to just make sure that that's all smoothed out as well. And I did a comparison between the two. Let's see what they look like. But you see, with the nail tips that we're using, it just makes it a bit easier to do what we need to do on the tips. And we're just doing that middle one again, just to make it a bit more in line shape wise with the other one. Alright, we're just finishing that one up. Okay, from here we are ready to do underneath the tips. So essentially I pull the tips off, pull the adhesive off, and then I'll drill where there's dip underneath it, and also at the base of the tip, because that's where the base is going to adhere to, so we need to ensure that that's there for that. For the drill, I'm right-handed, so I use the forward, and I usually just have it on one. That's all I need. So yeah, you see me going around the edges, making sure, there's no dip inside there, and also just for that adhesion as well. Yeah, and I just keep them at the top so I know which tip goes for which finger. So when I stick them back onto the nail tip holder, I know where they're meant to go. Yeah, some of the tips they have more dip underneath than others, But yeah, we just want to try and remove that so it's smooth underneath. I mean, if you don't have a nail drill, that's okay. You could probably still use maybe 180 grit on the underneath. But yeah, since I've got the nail drill, I just find it easier to use that for taking it out underneath. It's just faster and it's not awkward. Alright, now for reattaching the tips onto the tip holders, we do need to use the adhesive stickers again, and I am just smoothing it out with what I have done with the drill, just around the sides and everything. Like as I said before, I am a perfectionist, so I do this for this.